We see the artistry of the groundskeeper who has mown this pitch in circles, and very attractive it looks. Argentina in the blue shirts and the dark shorts, and Uruguay in all white. And Sam, I think you have a little bit of information on changes.
Yes, in Uruguay changes. Of course, the coach will not be on the bench. He will be in the stands. He was ejected from the Scotland game after harassing the officials there. Batista, who was ejected at 53 seconds versus Scotland, will not be playing. And Diego, who had accumulated 2 yellow cards, will not be playing either. But they do have Basio back in the lineup, who was suspended before. And in Argentina's case, they have made one change. They brought Pascali in for Borghi. Other than that, the Argentina team has stayed the same with their stars Maradona and the 3-goal scorer Valdano.
So a very, very important task indeed for today's referee, Luigi Agnolin from Italy. 43 years of age, speaks Italian, German, English and French. He is a swimming instructor, so we hope he doesn't get out of his depth in this game today. He also claims to be the player's friend. What does this mean to you?
Well, when I was playing, whenever the referee said he was your friend, that's when you really had to watch out for it.
Well, let's hope he keeps control of this very, very important match. Diego breaking, but the ball going into touch, and Uruguay under threat of suspension from the World Cup by FIFA if they continue this degrading sort of behavior. And as Sam has already indicated, without their manager on the bench today, Barrios, for previous bad behavior when they played Scotland. So now, Burruchaga of Argentina bringing the ball forward. This stadium half in shadow and will increase in shadow as the afternoon wears on. Maradona on the edge of the area, beats 2 men, beats 3 men, just takes it too far forward, showing his talent and his distinct threat.
Well, we have here Maradona, of course, with the acceleration that he has, and I mean, he's just a tremendous world-class player. But it's interesting that in both teams, the number 10 seems to be the star players in both teams.
Maradona for Argentina and Francescoli for Uruguay. It's interesting to note that the Uruguayan defender Acevedo, who's played very well in this World Cup so far, has said that the Argentinians have tried to work on them psychologically, but we will know what we must do on the field. He also said our defense is firm and we only have to be careful of Maradona and Valdano. I think the Argentinians have more than a 2-man threat, but certainly Maradona and Valdano are very, very distinct threats. So very, very early days in this game, and a throw-in. No, a free kick is given by this very important gentleman this afternoon, Luigi Agnolin, the Italian referee. He's assisted on the line by George Courtney of England and Carlos Valente of Portugal. So Uruguay pressing forward. Cabrera it is, breaks clear, but tackled there and loses possession to Argentina. Argentina in their dark blue jerseys as opposed to their familiar lighter blue and white vertical stripes. And this beautifully manicured field, which should encourage the players to play well and to stroke this ball about because they have the skill to do it. And this game can either be a soccer travesty or soccer magic. If they can control and discipline themselves and play the game as it's meant to be played, we're in for a treat. But if Uruguay resorts to their thuggery, then it may turn into a disgrace for this great game of football. We shall see. It's early days yet, and we see nothing at all threatening. Maradona swerving and turning beautifully, making space down the left touchline. Pascual is in the center. Maradona just hooks it across before it goes over the goal line, and the referee awards a corner.
And you can see that Barrios here is following Maradona, and it looks like he's been given the job of marking Maradona and following him on the field. And I think he's found himself a pretty tough job there as Maradona outpaced him a bit to get the cross in.
So, team versus team and individual versus individual as the different marking tasks are assigned and conducted. Here comes the cross. White-clad head gets to that, and Uruguay clear. Nice touch back. Uruguay coming out in numbers now. Pack their penalty area for that corner. Ramos hits that ball far too hard, and it ricochets off one of his own players, and Burruchaga it is for Argentina. Now beginning to spread this ball about a bit to try to stretch the Uruguayan defense. Valdano, goal scorer for Argentina. Pasculi to Maradona, tries the left side. Garre has it, and room. 3 in the center for Argentina. It's a high, gentle lob, and Uruguay have no hesitation in banging that over the goal line for a corner. So Argentina putting Uruguay under early pressure. Maradona, as usual, takes most of their free kicks, will also take this corner. Penalty area packed with the white of Uruguay, but now some blue-clad, and well caught indeed by Alves in the Uruguayan goal. Venancio Ramos pushing it into the center, but finding an Argentinian. Ruggeri. Burruchaga. Whitty. Nice play by Maradona, keeping that ball in. He looks as if he's on song today. Burruchaga ahead of him there, but he misdirects that pass. And so the Argentinian goalkeeper, the Uruguayan goalkeeper, Alves, rolling it out.
Jeff, I think we're seeing an interesting, usually we've seen the Europeans versus the South American style, and here, of course, we have 2 South American neighbors, and they're playing this is a long ball here, but normally the short, slow build-up, and I think we'll see a lot of that today, and the grass looks a little bit long and is holding the ball up, too, so I think we'll see a slow build-up game. But once they get near that penalty area, looking for those quick 1-2s.
Batista to Burruchaga. Burruchaga to Maradona. Chips it back to Burruchaga. Valdano's gone forward. Pasculi searches for the left, and Garre is on hand on the left. Likes this left side. Into the penalty area. Burruchaga tries to get in that cross, but it's blocked. And so Uruguay will be very, very pleased to push that ball into touch and save that pressure. Argentina on top in these early minutes of this first half of this all-important second round game. So Argentina, it is with the kick to be taken by the captain, Maradona. Valdano's up in the penalty area. Batista's moving up from his defensive position, and the Uruguayans are not 10 yards back. Burruchaga. No, Maradona. Bending it beautifully. Curling away from the goalkeeper, but Alves did well to come to it. And the whistle goes for offside against Burruchaga, and therefore a kick to Uruguay.
Interestingly enough, again, we talk about Barrios marking Maradona. Barrios happens to be the captain of the Uruguayan team, and Maradona captain of his team, Argentina, so it's a clash of captains as well.
Chance for Burruchaga. Knocks the ball out to the right. In the sunny part of the field, a long shot. Alves just knocking it down, bring it out to the edge of the area and push it to the right side. Bossio. Beautiful green contrasting with the white-clad Uruguayans and the rich dark blue of Argentina. But the Uruguayan ball through, going astray. Batista putting it inside to Justi. Burruchaga trying to find Maradona on the run. That might have been very dangerous, but not quite accurate enough. And Uruguay now, Venancio Ramos. Cabrera's in the middle, but good Argentinian tackling. Whitty. To Batista. To Valdano. Chipping it to the left. Burruchaga. Pasculi, number 17. An overlap here for support. Gives it into the middle. Valdano playing with it, stroking it across just outside the center circle. Justi probing. And the Uruguayan defender hooking it out to save the corner. He was pushed there as he went over that goal line. And we see here one of the dangers of having this cluster of cameramen so close to the goal line, not only with their hard cameras and very long lenses, but also with all the contraptions that they bring with them and these very solid boxes. And it's into these boxes that he fell. And I think FIFA might have been wiser to have moved that line back 2 or 3 meters, because after all, the game's the thing.
Very much so, and it's very dangerous for the players. We know the photographers want to get their pictures, but it doesn't take much. As you can see here, he tries to clear the ball, and just he gets a little push, and he's right in the middle of the photographers. And as lovely as those cameras are, I think they're very hard to land on.
So he's on his feet again. Gutierrez, Nelson Gutierrez, who plays for Boca Juniors. He might have a sore head after that, but fortunately, he's on his feet and able to resume play. And he puts it back to his goalkeeper, Alves. Alves in a delightful goalkeeper's jersey. The envy of the better dressers in Mexico, no doubt. Now here's a chance for Maradona. Gets his head to it. Looks for support. Sees it. Oh, and Valdano, uncharacteristically, with the goal at his mercy, heads it wide to the right side. Maradona, beautiful layup.
Lovely cross across, and I think that Valdano may have had his eyes on the goalkeeper, maybe thinking the goalkeeper was going to come out and try and block it, and he took his eye off the ball just for a second, or else that should have been a sure goal.
So uncharacteristic of this man, Valdano. And what a golden opportunity missed there. Maradona setting it up beautifully, looking and seeing Valdano coming in, tipping the ball across beautifully, and with the goal at his mercy, he tragically heads wide to the right side post. But now a chance for Uruguay to counter. Beats his man nicely. He's got support. But so also has the Argentinian defense come back to clear. Nice 1-2. Burruchaga, Valdano. Valdano trying to make amends for that miss just seconds ago, but giving away to Uruguay. And the counter-attack is on with a long ball to the left. Ramos out on the left wing receives that long ball from Francescoli. The Prince, as he's known, Francescoli, hasn't behaved like a prince so far, but now's his chance to show his talent. Francescoli and Cabrera in the middle. Ramos trying to beat one man too many, but he gets his cross in, but only into the hands of the Argentinian goalkeeper. And Pumpido easily able to handle that, and now Argentina counter-attacking, and we're seeing the end-to-end game which we'd all hoped for so much, showing that they have the skills to play this game beautifully.
I think that the FIFA warning has certainly had an effect on the Uruguayan players, because in the other games that we saw them play, they're nowhere near tackling as hard at this point in time.
And very, very clear also, Sam, that Luigi Agnelin from Italy is going to stamp out any chance at all of any play that we have come to deplore from these Uruguayans in their earlier games. So the referee making it very, very clear indeed. He'll stand no nonsense at all, but what he does want is top-class football, and this is what we've had so far in this first half. So the kick to Argentina, Maradona to take it, Burruchaga on hand, a bit of deception which will unlikely to fool the Uruguayans. Argentinians in the area. Maradona, a high chip, but too far, too strong. Didn't float as he'd hoped, and acknowledges the fact that the great one made a mistake in giving that ball a bit too much weight.
Well, he was looking for one of his favorite targets, Valdano, who is a nice, tall striker and good in the air, even though he did happen to miss that one that came across the goal, but I don't think he'll miss many more like that.
A chance for Argentina. Giusti into Maradona. Batista pushes it through. Long probing ball to the left to Garay. Tries to go round Boxio, but fails.
The referee did very well there. The Argentine player was trying, Gary was trying to fool him into it, calling a free kick, and he called it the other way. So the referee, Reed, so far doing a very good job.
And very important for him to start off well, because so much at stake in this game. There must be victory at the end of either the full time or extra time or penalties. And the team that loses, of course, is out of the World Cup. Giusti on the ball. Burashaga. See a lot of number 7, number 14 and number 10. But Uruguay get that loose ball. Francescoli on the ball. Known as the Prince. Great expectations of Francescoli. And though he's a Uruguayan, he plays in Argentina for River Plate. But he will be going to play in France to play for Racing Club de Paris next season. So one of the many South Americans who's made the trip across the ocean to Europe. Poorly struck free kick, and Batista will come away with it. Close marking by Uruguay. Burashaga in possession, finding his captain on the left, who does well to get that ball. Beats a man superbly, but loses control. And the referee steps in very quickly. As a quick word with Barrios, and the Labatt TV series will return after this message. And back in Puebla on a beautiful afternoon at Cuauhtémoc Stadium with the score, Argentina 0, Uruguay 0, as you see it on your screens, as Batista pushes it to Valdano and to Burashaga. Argentina having slightly the better of play, but the game being played as these two teams can play it, because they have the talent in these two 11s. And Uruguay so far not resorting to any of the play that we saw against Scotland, and that in fact was a foul on Uruguay by Justi.
And so we should see some class football from these two clubs. Of course, they've been in the World Cup. Argentina has won the World Cup once and Uruguay twice. And the last time these two teams met was in Uruguay in 1930 when they had the first World Cup. And they met in the final, and Uruguay won 4-2.
You're not showing your favoritism there, are you? That is in the World Cup, of course, that Sam spoke about, because they have met each other 73 times in international games, so they certainly know a great deal about each other's play. As Batista of Argentina brings the ball to Burashaga, the ever-present Burashaga, a quick long ball to Maradona on the run, but that one too strong. Alves able to handle it and calls to his defenders and sends it well downfield. Very colourful scene here in Puebla. Beautiful sunshine. Several torsos showing the effects of the sunshine. Groundsman showing his artistry with his circular mowing, and the players responding. And so far, Mr. Luigi Agnolin of Italy handily in charge of this game and ensuring that we see the sort of artistry and the beauty of soccer played at its very best. Ramos. Uruguay counter-attacking. Argentina dropping back in numbers in defense. That's too far away, but given away for a corner to Uruguay. Jose Brown giving that ball away.
We should mention, normally we probably see Daniel Passarella coming across to get that ball, but he has been ill and injured since the start of his tournament, and we still haven't seen him.
It would be a delight to see him, but I suspect we're not going to see him again today. So here, looks like an out-swinging corner from Uruguay. Beautiful high jump by Pereira, but referee disagreed with the way he gained that elevation, largely as a result of pressing down on the shoulders of the opposition, which is very spectacular, but not within the laws. Therefore, a quick kick to Argentina, bringing it away down the right side. Less and less of this ground being covered in sunshine, more and more in shadow from the stands. At the end of 20 minutes, as Batista puts it in, it's still no score, an evenly poised game. Burashaga again had a lot of ball possession, and we'll see him touching the ball a great deal more in this game. Tries to find Pasculi, but Acevedo, one of the Argentinian defenders who said all they had to do was look after Valdano and Maradona, fouls him and has a kick given against him. So this could be dangerous. It's only 30 yards out. And the Argentinians have shown us in the past that they can work magic on this ball from free kicks. Pasculi to place it, but we're never quite sure who will take it. More than likely Maradona, as he moves away from this ball. Emerges from the shadow on the edge of the sunshine. And that was a tester. It bent and it dipped, and I think the crossbar once again intervened, and Maradona on the rampage. That was a beautiful kick.
Maradona showed us again why he's one of the top-class players. He bent this ball around and over the wall and just off the crossbar. And it was the side that the wall was covering, so the goalkeeper had to come over quickly, but not quickly enough. And I'm sure he'd love to thank that crossbar.
Once again, Maradona in possession, certainly on song today. And if he's on form, then Argentina have the effect of playing with an extra man, because he is brilliant. This is a nice run by Santin, but falls to his knees, and it's a free kick against Justi, which Uruguay will take, and take quickly. Argentina getting back quickly in numbers in defense. But certainly Maradona showing Uruguay that they must never be complacent in defense, and when a free kick is given anywhere from 25 to 35 yards out, it spells danger. Now a chance for Uruguay to counter. Francescoli in the penalty area. Pompidou organizing his defense. And Ramos to take this free kick. The wall again, and the flag was up because a Uruguayan had been caught offside when the Argentinian defense moved quickly forward. So England and Paraguay doubtless watching this game, because whichever team from the England-Paraguay game wins will have to face the winner of this game. And certainly from what we've seen here, either of these teams could be a handful, with Argentina just having the edge still. Bossio.
And I think most of that edge is Maradona.
Into touch. Bossio to take the throw for Uruguay. A long one, but a little tangle there. Number 9, Cuchufo, and number 10, Francescoli, the Prince. And the result is a free kick to Uruguay. And Mr. Agnolin, who fortunately is a well-made man, will be able to stand, I think, a little bit of physical abuse. Smiling charmingly to the Argentinians. Everybody's very friendly today. A good atmosphere prevailing at the moment. Long may it remain. Nicely pushed ball to the edge of the area to Francescoli. Can he work his magic? But no, good defense by Argentina.
Very good defense by the Argentine defender. He did let him turn, which he doesn't really want to do, but he was also backed up by 2 or 3 other Argentine defenders, so good work by Argentina.
So Pompidou in the Argentinian goal, expecting a long throw from Bossio. Yes, it. And I think that could well be a corner, and the referee agrees with me. So Cabrera forced that corner. Number 21 for Uruguay, Cabrera. Beautifully built athlete. So for this corner, Cabrera hanging around on the fringes of the 6-yard area, and they're taking another of these out-swinging corners. A lower drive this time, hoping for Cabrera's foot, but he was well outnumbered by the blue-shirted Argentinian. Bossio another chance, but it comes off an Argentinian for a Uruguayan throw. Now Argentina with a chance to play it out, and Gary gives it back to Pompidou. So close to 25 minutes of this first half. Fascinating game, played in good spirit. Beautiful conditions. Sunshine with more and more of the shadows of the stand creeping over this beautiful ground in Puebla. And the crowd anticipating the first goal. Francescoli gets that ball out to the left. Rivero putting it back for support from Santin. Santin bundled down, and it will be a kick to Uruguay. And World Cup 86 on CBC Sports will continue in a moment. And welcome back to Cuauhtémoc Stadium in Puebla. The score still 0-0. Argentina attacking down the right side, but no nonsense defense there by Uruguay and putting the ball into touch. But Burruchaga. Pasculi in the center. Valdano was in there too, but a Uruguayan head on that ball as Maradona fights for it and almost has his head taken off by a high leg. Barrios marking Maradona and literally marking him there with that high leg up. And the referee will have to stop these arguments, these mass committee meetings. The decision has been made. Argentina will have the free kick. And so if Francescoli wants to remain a prince rather than a pauper, he ought to have the wisdom to back off quickly.
It was a bit of a high tackle that came through, and I think it was the arm that followed through from Barrios that hurt Maradona there. But if they keep doing this with Maradona, of course, they may pay for it, as they saw on the last free kick that hit the crossbar.
Agneline wants the full 10 yards. If he doesn't get it, he'll give a yellow card. So the five-man wall is back, and it looks to me to be a healthy 10 yards. Now no subtleties. Maradona lining it up. Strikes, but this time it doesn't dip and clears the crossbar by a couple of meters. And now, very sensibly, Barrios, the captain, having a chat with Maradona. One of the dangers, of course, for this referee is to look back in history, and I mean by that very recent history, and mark Uruguay before they deserve it. And so far, they haven't really been up to any sort of unnecessary mischief, and the referee seems to be handling the situation very well indeed. A good sound return by Cachufo, but sound only in the sense of going into touch for a Uruguayan throw. So this game between these very familiar rivals, neighbors, only the River Plate separating them in South America, and the match evenly poised in the middle of the river, so to speak, neither side having gained any major advantage. Garre on the left side. Valdano comes back for it, doesn't hit that ball with enough power, and Uruguay are able to clear handily. Now Argentina beginning to stroke this ball about with some confidence. Cachufo, a beautiful flick to Maradona. And Maradona showing that he has considerable acceleration, and the two comparing hamstrings for a moment. Francescoli comes back. And obviously both sides very conscious of the publicity about this foul play, and doubtless both sides having spoken about it before this game started, realizing that they are on show to the world and they can make or break the image of this game of football by their performance today.
And so far they both put on a very good show of discipline as far as tackling goes, and they've showed us some of their skill already, but there's lots more in both teams.
And a chance again, a beautiful flick through from Maradona to Valdano just off tackle. But Maradona again prepared to tackle for this ball and gain possession in dangerous position. Now Batista. Burashaga, the give and go, but not quite able to get past that Uruguayan defender. Uruguay now bringing the ball out. Francescoli pushing it back. Now trying the right side. Barrios. That was rather a quick and wide left foot in there by Garre. On to Francescoli, number 10. A little bit of a wild left foot, and the referee just comes in and says, quiet it down, guys. You're playing very well so far. Kick is taken. Francescoli tries to beat his man, does so, tries to nutmeg a second one, and he's obstructed, so it's another free kick to Uruguay, and the first yellow card is out and will be issued to Garre of Argentina. That may be Garre's second card. My partner indicates with great authority that that is Garre's second card. That being so, then he will miss the quarter-final game if, in fact, Argentina gets through.
Francescoli did very well then, taking on two men, and it was a bit of an unfortunate tackle for Garre, but now if Argentina does get through, as you said, Jeff, he will miss the next game.
I'm sure the viewers would have been impressed to see the action of my partner there. As soon as I checked with him about Garre's status, immediately, without a second hesitation, two fingers went up to indicate that was his second yellow card, and if Argentina win this game, Garre will have to play the role of spectator. So Uruguay will bring it out. And direction from Gutierrez. Give it back to the goalkeeper, Alves. A long punt downfield. Batista pushing it out to the left, but Uruguay tackling back. Cabrera decides to take advantage of the double yellow carding from the unfortunate Gary and charges into him, but Gary receives a kick which he takes very quickly. The referee's not satisfied.
One of the things
There's a throw in instead. Sorry, Sam.
One of these things with South American players, of course, is they're also skillful. They love to do a lot of things on the ball, and sometimes they'll hold it rather than pass it, and that's usually what brings on a foul.
Maradona. Santine got the ball away from him nicely. A chance for Uruguay to break, but that ball astray somewhat. Barrios. Overlap. Ramos knows he's got support on the right. Bossio turns inside instead. Chance for a left footer from Santine, but Pompidou gets across to palm it down. But perhaps they're the first real strike by Uruguay.
It was a good piece of work by Uruguay and a good hard shot, but Pompidou had it well covered. He had the angle played well, so there was no problem. But Uruguay's first real chance.
Put up, the referee says, and a kick to Argentina, and 33 minutes gone in the first half. And these two neighbors from South America, the score 0-0. Nice ball from Batista. Burashaga. Giusti tried to flick it onto Maradona. Maradona comes back and gets his own ball, does a 360-degree turn and almost beat three white shirts, but couldn't find a way through, and Uruguay come away with it. The captain, Barrios. Good anticipation by the Argentinian defense there, coming to that loose ball and winning it. Valdano to Maradona. Maradona working like a demon in this game. He's fouled, and it will be a kick to Argentina.
What the referee needs to do here is not take any verbal abuse from any of these players, and so far he's doing quite well of it.
We saw, unfortunately, in the game against Scotland, number 8, the Uruguayan captain Barrios, spending much of the game arguing with the referee. He should have been sent off for his troubles, but he wasn't. A very weak demonstration of refereeing by the French referee, and it's important that Mr. Luigi Agnolin gets control over this game and stands no dissension or argument from these players. So here, 10 yards back from the wall and a dangerous position.
It'll be interesting to see if Argentina, they've done it twice now with Maradona shooting, if they try something a little different.
And they did, in the sense that Burashaga just slid it sideways to Pasciuli, but he didn't do as well as Maradona had done. So, a very evenly poised game, full of anticipation, but no great threat on goal at either end. Very evenly poised, both somewhat hesitant about committing themselves too soon. The crowd trying to encourage these teams into a little more action, but it is very much the check and checkmate of the chess game. That's a beautiful ball, but superbly snatched out of the air by Alves, and immediately distributes up the left side to give Ramos a chance to attack. But Batista is up to it, and now Argentina will counter-attack. Now this game livening up. The last quarter of the first half. And the white-clad Uruguayans on the attack. Ramos at speed in the middle. Francescoli just 5 meters away. Asks and gets. Pushes back for support. Ramos again beautifully controlled, but couldn't quite take that second step. And Jorge Brown was in the way, and now there will be a yellow card for Francescoli for that foul on Gary. And the Labatt TV series will return after this message. Welcome back to Puebla. 38 minutes gone in this first half, and Uruguay on the attack. And now Argentina clearing, and that ball coming back off Burashaga to Uruguayan feet. Ramos is in the middle, waiting for this cross. Beautiful diving, stretched header by Cabrera. Batista, long ball looking for Maradona. Now, legs tangle. And it will be a free kick to Uruguay. So both sides testing, both sides able to handle the testing so far. Batista. Nice play to Maradona, tries to immediately return that ball. Valdano it was who was fouled, and the referee gives the kick to Argentina. The various remnants of crowds in the sparser areas of this stadium. Gary. Maradona trying to nod it forward. And Burruchaga anticipates the corner. The referee agrees. And therefore, Fernando Alves in the goal. Burruchaga coming in, chipping it across. There's a beautiful effort by Ruggieri, not too far over that crossbar.
Good build-up by Argentina here. Comes across with a lovely cross, and there's Ruggieri trying to head the ball in, much as he did against Korea. He scored a goal similar to that against Korea. Tall defender, good in the air.
Good attempt there by Argentina, but someone in the center was offside, and the referee looked across at the linesman's flag, so it is a kick to Uruguay. Quick scrambling for this ball by Argentina for this free kick, realizing that the first half only has about 6 minutes remaining. Batista wasting that ball to a Uruguayan, giving them a chance to counter-attack, but they cannot control the ball, and it's into touch for an Argentinian throw. Justi to Gade. Good Uruguayan anticipation on behalf of Bossio, and it's into touch for an Argentinian throw, which Gade will take. Jose Brown. Looking for three Argentinians, finding Maradona on the left. An instant cross and almost a mistake there. The result will be an Argentinian corner.
That's the first time. There was a bit of a mix-up there between the defender and the goalkeeper. One of them has to call for this ball. I don't think either one of them did, and they darn near cost them a slip-up and a goal.
So Maradona takes this corner. Ruggieri up again, but Alves well able to handle it. And referee awards a kick there to Uruguay. And we see the supporters, fascination and the even poise of the game. Nothing to cheer about in excess as a result of any goals in this first half as we move towards the 41st minute. Justi wastes that ball and gives Santin a chance, and out to Bossio. But Batista back to the goalkeeper, Pumpido. Burruchaga to Justi. Burruchaga again for the return pass, and needs back heel to Justi. Now Maradona joins in the play. Almost twisted the pelvic girdle there of that Uruguayan defender with that move. A chance for Burruchaga. Here's a chance, and that's it. The first one, 1-0 to Argentina, scored by Pedro Pasculi.
And again, Maradona engineered that whole thing as he started it, and it happened to break free to Pasculi, who had no problem finishing that. Good, calm, and cool in front of the net. Puts it in the corner. Very unlucky for the Uruguayan defenders. It just happened to bounce out after a tackle here. But Pasculi, getting his first start in the team, makes it a good one.
And the goalkeeper Alves was going across to his right, and Pasculi put it against the grain, and Argentina are one up, and what a superb time to score a goal with about a couple of minutes remaining in this first half. So now Uruguay will have to press men forward in the second half to get on even terms. Out to the left side by Uruguay. Argentina now content to just move this ball confidently from man to man and begin their build-up slowly into the Uruguayan half. That ball, but careless back pass. As Sam said earlier, these sides love to play with the ball too much. They occasionally make mistakes in defense. Instead of hitting that ball out, they like to play it one to another, and it sometimes leads to dispossession or interception. Batista to Burruchaga. Back to Burruchaga. Turns the ball beautifully. And a free kick. The Italian referee spotted that quickly. He insisted it will be taken properly. Some glum faces there. The banned Uruguayan manager looking glum because he's not on the bench. He's been forced into the stand because of his behavior, and the penalty for that behavior, banned from the bench for this game. Batista. Argentina, no great hurry to do very much in the waning minutes of this first half. Ahead 1-0. Maradona got support on the left and goes inside, but men onto him. Gary must be careful. Fouled again there, and Cabrera will take it. Rossio across. One last chance perhaps in this half for Uruguay to get on even terms. Left finds Gutierrez. He's looking for men up front. Two in the area. That's a chance here for them. A chance just missed. The crossbar had been elevated a couple of feet. There may have been a goal there.
Again, another scramble as it falls down, and Francescoli trying to move into the middle. Cabrera came in and hit it, just missing on the near post.
Wasn't the crossbar that needed adjustment. It was, in fact, one of the uprights that needed moving to the right. But it wasn't. And they survive, and the score is still Argentina 1, Uruguay 0. We're now 45 minutes on our watch, which is, of course, unofficial. The referees have stuck to time pretty well. There would be a little bit of stoppage time here, and it might be a chance for Cabrera. But Rougerie concedes the corner. They must take quickly because time is running out on them. They don't have to take the corner if time has elapsed. And here he comes. Argentinian head got to that. There's a chance there for a volley. And another corner, and a man on hand instantly to take this corner. Uruguay not about to waste time. Here he comes. Justi defended very well there with that header. And the referee whistled for half-time. And as you see, at half-time, Argentina are ahead in this battle of the neighbors on either side of the River Plate. The goal scored by Pasculi. And the Labatt TV series will return after this message. And welcome back to Cuauhtémoc Stadium in Puebla. This crowd anticipating an end-to-end second half, following a first half in which Argentina went ahead with a very fine goal from Pasculi. And we see the Uruguayan team emerging from the depths of the cellars of this stadium in which the changing rooms are. My goodness, we almost saw an undressing act there from number 14 from Uruguay. Pereira, he probably has no idea that he's on the world stage at the moment, and we see Argentina already on the field. An interesting comment that Tony and Chris were making at half-time there, Sam, about the style of Diego Maradona's play. Do you have any words of wisdom to offer those pair?
Well, from my experience of playing some of these players, they are very good dribblers, but they're also probably some of the best people we've ever seen at drawing fouls, because of their dribbling ability, and they seem to think that little half step faster than most defenders. When they see that they're going to lose the ball, they almost launch themselves into a defender and manage to draw a foul. But it's been interesting today because we're looking for a physical game, but we're also looking for a battle of the number 10s, Francescoli and Maradona, and I'd have to give Maradona a definite edge at this point in time.
So the game is underway in this second half. Uruguay will have to come forward, because if this score stays the same, they will exit the World Cup. And of course, just to complete our conversation of a few seconds ago, this makes the referee's job immensely difficult. He's got to judge whether something is done with malice aforethought or intentionally, or whether it's just a good, clean, fair physical contact, because this is a physical game after all. We're not looking at 22 ballet dancers here, although some of their moves are quite balletic. But it is a vigorous game, and physical vigor is allowed, and it's the referee's job to judge whether this is being done fairly or whether it's being done intentionally to deliberately foul the opponent.
And of course, most of these athletes have a little bit of actor in them, which makes it even more difficult.
So we have a rare mixture on the field, in fact. Soccer players, actors, and ballet dancers. In any event, whatever they are, Uruguay have their hands full, a goal down, and they must try to put men forward, because this man, whenever he gets possession, can create havoc in a defense. And the other very interesting thing about Diego Maradona's play in this first half is that he's certainly prepared to tackle back for the ball.
Very much so, and it sure is a different Maradona that we saw in 1982 in Spain. There's no doubt that captain's armband has really seemed to have done something for him.
Da Silva has come on in this second half for Uruguay. Jorge da Silva, who plays in Spain. And interesting that Omar Boris's substitute, Omar Boris being the band manager, that Omar Boris's substitute should put on da Silva, because da Silva is already in possession of one yellow card. So if he collects another one, there we see him, then he would have to sit out the next game. We might talk about that next game in a moment in anticipation, Sam, because that Uruguayan pressure was relieved there by Argentina, but they come back again. High ball, challenged by the Argentinian defense. Francescoli in possession, turns nicely, looks for support, tries to move it through himself, and Argentina clear. And a long ball, Maradona at speed down the right side, runs round his man, looks up quickly, this is a threat, goes round beautifully and pushes it in. Oh my goodness! What beautiful play by Maradona. That deserved better. Pasculi unable to get in to slide that ball in. Maradona
showed you first down the sidelines. He rode one tackle, rode a second one, and put such an intelligent ball across. Just a little too far. Pasculi sliding into the net, but not the ball in net, I'm afraid. He could have had his second goal, but totally made by Maradona.
And that Pasculi put literally inches away from contact with that ball, and all he had to do was touch that ball to redirect it into the back of the net. But what magnificent lead-up play by this Argentinian captain. But Uruguay survive it and are only one goal down, so easily it could have been two. And there, that's a foul on Sergio Santi. So it will be a kick to Uruguay, taken quickly. Ramos on the left, but dispossessed beautifully by Batista, who in turn is knocked down. So it's a kick to Argentina, and the referee has a quick word with Pereira. Neat, nonchalant back heel to a man. Linked inside. Burashaga. Offside on the left side. A good run by Garay. Garay going at some speed, but Burashaga just delaying that pass sufficiently to catch Garay in an offside position. So Uruguay coming away with this ball. These players becoming more and more acclimatized to this altitude and handling it so well that we tend to notice it less and less. But it is there, as is the heat and humidity. And now over this beautiful stadium in Puebla, we have some clouds, some of the threatening thunder clouds which we've come to expect daily in this part of the world. And the referee is bringing out the yellow flag. Francescoli had better be very careful, and he issues the yellow card to an Argentinian.
It definitely came in too late on the tackle, Brown. He was very late on the tackle. The ball had already gone by, and he managed to take the player's legs out from underneath him, and I think that one did deserve a yellow card.
So Jose Brown got the yellow card, and number 8, the Uruguayan captain, is starting his old tricks again of constantly berating the referee, and I don't think this referee from Italy, Mr. Agdalin, is going to stand too much of that. In any event, Brown gets the yellow card, Uruguay get a free kick, and the Argentinian wall, to the satisfaction of the referee, are 10 yards away from the ball, and the Argentinian goalkeeper, Pompidou, naturally looked anxious. No, they're not back 10 yards. The referee says, come on, lads, we'll do it my way. And Francescoli takes this kick, bends it, knocked down by Pompidou. Could have been dangerous, but very fortunately for him, 3 Argentinian defenders on hand as opposed to Uruguayans.
He bent this, but it wasn't that tremendous of a shot, and Pompidou, I think, just totally misplayed that. Instead of trying to catch it, he tried to knock it down in front of him and almost gave up a rebound.
Fortunately for him, there were no Uruguayans on hand for that knockdown, but Uruguay gets the corner, and he makes amends this time by a good, clean catch. Says, okay, gentlemen, I made a mistake, and now I've recovered from the mistake, so we'll forget about it. Crowd not wildly enthusiastic. Waiting for the goal, I suspect. So we're 6 minutes into the second half, and the recently yellow-carded Brown puts the ball out to the left side. Gary it is on the left. Batista in support. Nice push through to Maradona, back to Gary. Leaves it nicely for Justi. And that one goes harmlessly into the stands behind the goal.
Just to let you know how Argentina got to this round, of course, they came through with 5 points in their group. They beat Korea 3-1, tied with Italy 1-1, and 2-0 they beat Bulgaria. So if they can win this game, they could go through to the quarterfinals undefeated, much like Brazil did this morning.
Rivero. Argentina in possession. Justi. Maradona beats his man beautifully. They try to hold him back. The referee says play on, and away he goes. Beautiful acceleration. Still Maradona gets it out to the left side. Pasciuli coming in, and surely Burashaga, headed off the line beautifully. Burashaga just a little too nonchalant there. That could have been a second goal for Argentina. They've had 2 chances now. Just a little bit too casual from Burashaga.
Burashaga was very unlucky there. The first time he tried to hit the ball in the net, which is when it should have gone in. As you see it coming across from Pasciuli, he mishit it, and he had a second chance, but there was a defender behind the goalkeeper to clear it off. Very unlucky.
So we had 2 beautiful balls laid across the goal mouth. First by Maradona, which Pasciuli just couldn't get his boot to, and then Pasciuli returned that with interest, a beautifully laid on ball, but Burashaga too nonchalant, and so Uruguay survive and still only have Argentina 1 goal ahead. Batista, Burashaga, Argentina coming forward in numbers, trying a long one. Well covered, the body behind that ball by the Uruguayan goalkeeper Alves. Alves very safe, not particularly spectacular, but very safe.
Very safe considering he had to go through a very difficult game when, of course, Denmark beat them 6-1, so he seems to have recovered from that shell shock.
Now Argentina try the right side. Maradona pulls away from his marker, finds space, turns him inside out, gets a cross in, and they have to concede a corner, except for very, very agile work by Alves. Saves it literally on the line.
This is really turning into the Maradona show. He's beating people with little effort, getting crosses in that are causing Uruguay an awful lot of trouble.
But got himself offside there by a meter, so kick to Uruguay. Argentina looking lively in this second half with almost 10 minutes gone.
And of course, as the time goes on here, it gets worse and worse for Uruguay. They've got to start taking a few chances and getting forward because they need to tie this up.
Burashaga moving both feet in that tackle to scramble for that ball, gets it back again, finds his captain Maradona, and Argentina looking remarkably confident now. Burashaga heads up, looking around for men in space. Tries the left side and finds his captain, who wanders and finds space with remarkable ease. One man dispossessed this time by Bossio, and he'll get a kick for that one.
Maradona does a lovely job here, again riding off the tackle and drawing a foul, and a little bit acrobatic at the end, but the good players in the world will do what Maradona does. He seems to just float, and he'll float out wide and find himself an awful lot of room where he can get into a position of being one-on-one with a defender.
Having gained the foul, he and Burashaga will attempt to deceive, and it will be Maradona who strikes the ball. Drive through a cluster by Justi. Burashaga now in possession. Argentina starting with Brown, a through ball to Maradona. Dispossessed this time. Uruguay a chance now to relieve the pressure, bringing the ball out. But getting into trouble again and losing possession to Argentina. Through ball is offside for the ever-eager operational game as captain of this Argentinian side.
Very unlucky for Maradona there. A good idea, good through ball, but he was just a little bit ahead and he was called offside.
Here another chance. Pushes it back. Valdano, Maradona waiting handily, but Uruguay scrambling it away, and they're going to have to really settle down and try to push men forward, because these Argentinians are going to wreak havoc with them if they're not careful. Poor cross by Ramos. Argentina again building through the middle, but not as slowly as we might have expected. They're building with some pace, and when they finally strike, there is tremendous acceleration, particularly from Maradona, but also from Valdano, his striking partner. Burashaga. Maradona wandered to the right side this time, fouled again. And the Labatt TV series will return after this message.
John Labatt Classic. It's my kind of beer. And the reasons? They're right on the label. It's made with 100% barley malt. Now that's a sure sign of a quality beer. It's Kreuzen brewed, double fermented in small batches. And it's one of the longest aged beers in the world. Now, if those aren't reasons enough, there's always the taste.
John Labatt Classic and John Labatt Classic Light. You'll find your own reason.
And welcome back to Puebla, where fortunately for Argentina, we see their captain Maradona on his feet again, playing with a suspect knee, to say the least. His advice was to have an operation. He decided to not have the operation, certainly prior to the World Cup, and hope that everything went well. And to the great good fortune of Argentina, everything has gone well, despite some pretty hard tackles, and despite Maradona's eagerness and willingness to tackle back himself. So that was offside, and it will be a kick to Uruguay. Take it quickly. Gutierrez finding his way through the middle. Argentina marking tightly. Gutierrez, Da Silva now, the substitute. Plenty of energy, but wasting that ball totally. Oh, that a heavy one from the back. And Acevedo, in no doubt in the referee's mind that that was not acceptable. And that harsh tackle on Pasciuli gets him the yellow card.
Definitely came in very late there, and that's a tackle that can really hurt your back, because you're not ready for that, and you can jar it, and it's very hard on the back. But let's not hope that Uruguay, in their frustration here, decides to resort back to what we saw in some of the earlier games.
Well, I'm afraid if they do, Sam, this referee will have the courage to dispatch them, and they'll find themselves playing 10 men again, with much less success than they enjoyed against Scotland, because this Argentinian side will certainly not let them off the hook. So Pedro Pasciuli, the goal scorer, or one of the goal scorers, on his feet again. And Burashaga. Delightful chip to Maradona. The flag is down, and he gets that left footer in, but very fortunately for Uruguay, Alves up to it. Urashaga playing very well with Maradona. A lot of ball and distributing it very well.
But we should give Alves credit there. He played the angle well. It was a hard shot from Maradona, but he had the angles down and he managed to hold on to the ball. So a good save on his half.
So Argentina ahead by that one very important goal. 15 minutes gone, the first third of the second half gone. Uruguay now with 30 minutes available to them to do something, to get on terms, and then to get ahead if they wish to go through. Would you like to say a few words about the opponents of the winners of this game?
Well, yes, of course, there must be England and Paraguay. I'm sure will be sitting by their sets watching this game to see who they will play and who they would like to play. And right now, the way Argentina's playing, I don't know if either one of them would want to play them, but that game will be in Aztec Stadium in Mexico City on June 22nd. So the winner of this game, which looks like Argentina comfortably right now, but who knows on that one, we've got another 30 minutes, and the winner of the England-Paraguay game.
And Argentina have made their first substitution. They've perhaps very wisely brought off Eduardo Acevedo, who just received that yellow card, and they have replaced him with Ruben Paz. So Uruguay rather, now with one substitute only available. Half an hour, or a little less than half an hour to go in this second half. And they are down 1-0. And my partner very rightly corrects me by telling me that they have their 2 substitutes on. Offside there, so it will be a kick. Argentina without any substitutes at the moment, therefore having 2 fresh players to bring on when they wish. But Uruguay, having had both theirs on, number 9 De Silva is relatively fresh, and number 18 Ruben Paz. So they are up against it in every sense of the word. Referee not satisfied with that, and it will be a kick to Uruguay. As now a new substitute, but intercepted by Argentina. Rivero, high ball, and there is the substitute 2, De Silva. Foul Rougerie, and the kick to Argentina.
Both players going up for the ball there, but number 9 De Silva just leaned a little bit in when the ball was coming down just to put off the Argentine defender. So free kick Argentina.
Well, despite the fact that Argentina are still only 1 goal ahead, there seems to be a lack of urgency in the Uruguayan play. And time is running out on them because we have over 18 minutes of this second half gone. Only the winner will go through in this second round. So Uruguay have got to start looking a little more urgent about this. And they've got to start to get their play together, because many of their passes have gone astray. And here, a threat from Argentina. And he can only work himself into trouble there. Rivero, but a quick throw taken by number 18, Paz. And Uruguay come down the left side. Referee says play on. That was a hard tackle. The Argentinian is down on the ground. Paz making progress down the left. cuts inside nicely, tries to pull the ball back, but the Argentinian defense well placed.
But a tremendous run by Paz there. He went by two people looking a bit like Maradona, but well cleared by the defense.
That one well cleared, and we see Omar Borra, who must be going through endless frustrations and using all sorts of modern electronic techniques to get messages down to the bench. Absent in one sense physically from the bench, but doubtless using every means at his disposal to try to get instructions down, but a very sharp message for him to learn, particularly if his side are defeated. Now Uruguay. Still not coming forward with any great pace. Paz looking to inject a little bit of urgency and pace into this side, and probes the left wing again. Well blocked by the Argentinian defender, into touch for a Uruguayan throw. Now they must push now. They're running out of time. 20 minutes gone. Still only a goal in it. The game there to be won without question. But this man certainly not prepared to let it go. Beautiful ball to Valdano. This is a distinct threat here. Oh, Valdano took the goalkeeper on himself, but Maradona follows up beautifully and puts it in. But no goal. The referee says no. And Maradona is distraught. But the Italian referee has made his mind up. He's quite confident. He was on the spot. And it doesn't matter how much he prays or gesticulates, they will not allow that goal.
I think the referee there thought that Maradona had pushed the forward, a defender in front of him, to get at the ball, and I think that's the call that he made. Very unfortunate. Good run by Maradona, and Valdano should have been 2-0.
We certainly saw the Uruguayan defender fall, and he was in contact with Maradona at the time. The referee certainly on the spot to make his decision, and it doesn't matter, Maradona, you can appeal all you like.
You can see it here as he comes up. I think what he said there, that Maradona's foot had caught the defender on the back and put him off, that allowed him to get to the ball. But the referee in a good position to call it. He's called it now. Still 1-0 Argentina.
This should perhaps give some encouragement to Uruguay, because they've been let off at least 3 goals. And Argentina again, Burruchaga keeps it in play. Quick look across for supporting players. There's one there. And that one was close too. Argentina beginning to get on the rampage, and the game increasing in its intensity.
Again, we saw Argentina score a couple of these goals. A lovely ball to the far post, and just unfortunate. I think it hit the back of a defender. He was heading it towards the goal. It must have hit a defender because they've called a corner.
And Valdano in the 6-yard area. Maradona in the penalty area. Argentinians coming forward now into that area. The Argentinian supporters naturally jubilant. And this corner will be an in-swinging ball. But it's a Uruguayan head that gets to it. Rarer it was, who got up well and headed that ball clear. And a very rare occasion. And even though it's rare, the crowd don't like it. Back to the goalkeeper. And World Cup 86 on CBC Sports will continue in a moment. And welcome back to Cuauhtémoc Stadium in Puebla, with Argentina still ahead in this game, 1-0 as a result of a fine opportunistic goal by Pedro Pasculi. Referee will ask for this corner to be taken again, this Argentinian corner. Valdano in the 6-yard area. Maradona asks for it to be played short and almost gets one in on the near post. But a very alert goalkeeper, Fernando Alves, saves the day. High header back to the goalkeeper at the other end, Neri Pompidou. The gods are uneasy. The wind is beginning to ruffle these flags, and the clouds are coming in. And we may get the inevitable Mexican afternoon rain. But meanwhile, Maradona fouled heavily by the captain, Barrios, trying to go round him. The referee keeps his hand in his pocket.
Again, Maradona shows you how to draw yourself a foul. You saw as Barrios came in, he did jump up in the air. The foul looked worse than it was, but he knew he'd lost the ball in Barry, and he just threw the foul. A very good job of doing it.
This free kick in a very dangerous area for Uruguay. They're not out of this game yet by any means, with just 1 goal in it. But They need to be at the other end of this pitch if they're going to score some goals. Argentina not at all keen to let them go there. Gary out to the left side. Maradona's in a nice position, found himself in space again. Takes on 3 men, flips it sideways, but his Argentinian teammate was so mesmerized by his captain's play, he was anchored to the ground. And up goes the flag, and of course it's an offside. Linesman unfurls his flag and lets it flicker in the breeze. Clouds coming in and the breeze increasing, a change of weather. Paz, who has certainly injected some incentive and pace into this Uruguayan attack, but doing it mostly on his own. That's a nice ball from Maradona. But Pereira just having the pace to defend effectively and stop that Argentinian threat. Bosio now. De Silva's in the center waiting for this ball. Francescoli is. But Santin stepped over the ball, but there's a second chance. That's a ponderous strike on that ball. Gives the Argentinian defense time to come back in large numbers. And now to break away Burruchaga. And it's a foul on Burruchaga and a kick to Argentina. See the effects of this breeze now as the stray pieces of waste paper flicker across the pitch and the linesman's flag begins to stretch. And so they're going to face very different conditions as they move through the 27th minute of this second half. The nature of the conditions have changed. The nature of the score has not. Argentina still lead 1-0. Goal by Pedro Pasculi. Now Uruguay coming away. Wind behind them. Bosio inside to De Silva. Silva has a quick look up for support, tries to flick it forward. Still Uruguay coming. The Argentinian defense chasing at some pace. Gisti was coming across there, but a quick throw. Finds his man. Over goes the cross, and that wasn't too far away.
Uruguay causing Argentina some problems here, some good pressure, quick throw in, and that shot just across the goal mouth. But Argentina here has to start being careful. They're starting to defend in numbers, and they could get caught. And maybe those 2 goals that they didn't score before, now they're going to really regret if they're not careful.
Increasingly strong wind against them, and the 2 Uruguayan substitutes, Paz and De Silva, certainly beginning to affect this Uruguayan play for the better. Showing some thrust and eagerness. Gare down the left side. Hoping for a foul, not getting it. Uruguay undoubtedly encouraged. Beginning to believe, I think, that they have a chance here.
Very much so. As long as the game goes longer and it stays 1-0, they're always in with a chance, and they know that, and they have that feeling, so they can easily steal one back. What Argentina, of course, needs to do is to get that second goal to kill it off.
Burruchaga, an overhead kick, but offside. Quickly taken by Uruguay, now beginning at last to demonstrate increased urgency, perhaps boosted by some increased confidence as a result of the play of Paz and De Silva coming on from the substitute bench and not at all being overwhelmed by this Argentinian side and wanting to press forward and try to get some strikes on goal. De Silva again. Trying to turn his man, puts it into the middle. 3 Argentinians there. There's a chance of a left foot shot, but it goes harmlessly by the upright. Not struck with any real power.
It's a good shot, and there was a deflection on there. The Uruguayans are complaining for a corner. Don't think it was given.
Santin being told by his teammate, however, don't complain too much to this referee. He missed it, and that's the end of it. We're not going to get it back. And so it will be an Argentinian goal kick by Pompidou.
But there is more and more chances now falling to Uruguay. They're working very hard to get back in this game, and Argentina needs to try and get this ball and do something a bit more constructive rather than falling back and just defending. There's still too much time for that.
3 players on the right. Moving forward. Francescoli tried to get that ball to support, but Uruguay gets the loose ball. Francescoli, now is the time for him to show that he truly is a prince. If ever there was a time to show his class, this is it. Offside, the linesman's flag goes up, but Uruguay threatening. Coming forward in increasing numbers, getting to the 50-50 ball more frequently than Argentina, and really beginning to look threatening.
Very close call here, but he's just offside. The linesman, as you can see, had his flag up right away. But Argentina, at that point, had all of their men back behind the ball. They brought everyone back. And right now, I think they're getting a little scared and a bit worried defending very drastically.
Pompidou punts that ball clear, and 30 minutes of this second half have gone. Argentina 1, Uruguay 0. With Uruguay coming more and more into the play, and here they come again. Good support by Santin. Threads that ball through beautifully. Francis Coley on the right. Uruguayans in the penalty area. Tries to fool the goalkeeper, I think, by trying to bend that ball in and catch the goalkeeper on the edge of his 6-yard area. But it came to naught. And the rain is here, that familiar afternoon rain. The wind is here. We're enjoying, if that's the right word, a Mexican afternoon storm. And the wind is blowing in favor of Uruguay and into the faces of the Argentinians. That monstrous ball from Pompidou is into touch for a Uruguayan throw, taken by Bossio. And Argentina may well regret these missed chances if Uruguay continue this onslaught. Bad ball, Jorge Brown on hand, and now a chance for Batista on the left. The ball is in play, Burruchaga on hand. He has a help on the right, but he's dispossessed, and it's a kick to Argentina. And the referee has a quick word, and there you see the rain pouring down. Sheets of rain coming onto this pitch in Puebla. The sky very dark indeed. The wind turbulent in this stadium. Batista about to take this free kick.
Making it very, very difficult conditions for a goalkeeper. Because of the grass, the ball may skid now or may slip out of his hand.
Maradona still fighting for that ball. And the two superstars, Francescoli and Maradona, contested that one, but it's Uruguay that break away down the right side at speed. Support in the middle. Da Silva coming like an express train, but not quite having the pace to get on the end of that one. But Uruguay certainly with their tails up now, believing that they can draw on equal terms and go on to win this game. But time is going to be against them. There's 12 minutes remaining. Pompidou to take this goal kick. The rain continues to pour down. The wind is blustering. And conditions have deteriorated. But Uruguay are fighting hard. Kick to Argentina. These two teams are playing for a place in the quarterfinals. And their opponents
will be the winner of England and Paraguay.
And it would be unwise for Argentina to begin to think about England or Paraguay at the moment, because they have a job on their hands here with this rampant Uruguayan side. The rain just sheeting down here in Puebla. There is a foul. And the Labatt TV series will return in a moment.
That's my kind of beer.
Tense moment, free kick to Argentina. Maradona bends it. Alves gets his hands to it and makes the save. And the storm continues. That was a foul on Burruchaga that resulted in that Argentinian free kick. But now Uruguay attacking in numbers. One wonders why they waited so long. Asensio made his way forward for that ball, but that ball is into touch and the rain continues to sheet down here. A very heavy storm. Very difficult conditions indeed. Uruguay now giving Argentina a lot of trouble. Certain desperation in their play. But a desperation which is resulting in many men coming forward and a lot of pressure on this Argentinian defense. Little lob forward and Argentina glad to hook it into touch.
Getting to be very difficult conditions to play in because you're trying to watch that ball and the rain is coming down on your face. And these are the times where people start making mistakes.
Argentina relief to clear it, but don't clear it satisfactorily. Chip over. That wasn't the header that Cachufo intended. It slid off a slippery and wet head. And back to Pompidou, very pleased to see that relief. And it is just a torrential rainstorm here. Spectators soaked to the skin, but loyally staying here to see this game out. 37 minutes gone, flags being used as shelter, and very ingenious means being used to poke heads through clouds, I'll get it right in a minute, to poke heads through flags in order to see this game. Maradona fouled, the referee says play on, and Uruguay come out again. Ramos backing up and getting it. Challenged by Pasculi, and the free kick is to Uruguay, and the referee will make them take that again, and they do. Herrera swings it out to the left. There's a man running on the left. Gets a good quick cross in, but neatly cut off. But a corner is conceded.
In a very dangerous corner it'll be with this rain coming down. Hard for the defenders to see, hard for the goalie.
Chance for Ramos. And into the hands of a very, very thankful Pompidou in the Argentinian goal. Referee says, let's get on with this game. We don't want any time wasting. Pompidou had better stop that gesturing. Umbrellas are up. Flags are being used. Streamers are being used. The rain continues to cascade down. The surface treacherous and slippery. And Pompidou got his just desserts for that time wasting. Referee Aguilin gave him a yellow card. And Uruguay continue to attack in these dreadful conditions. Paz loses his footing, gives the Argentinian defense a chance, but Paz again, showing great determination. Chance for the cross. Deflected, but Uruguay still in possession. Certainly on top, and Argentina with their backs against the wall now. 6 minutes we make it to play. Argentina still ahead, 1-0. And the rain continuing to cascade.
Argentina ahead here, there's no doubt, but they're now defending very furiously, and Uruguay coming forward more and more and more. And I'm sure that one of the big changes that we've seen is Paz, who has come on for Uruguay, has really done a job for them and really changed this game around, gone forward very, very well.
Argentina waiting to substitute. Uruguayan say to the referee, none of this. Heated discussions going on in the pouring rain. Yes, I think the decision has been made and the substituted player is coming off and is being aided off, most unwillingly, by a Uruguayan. And the substitute is number 16, Julio Olaticochea. And Batista is off. So Olaticochea, number 16, on for Argentina. And a yellow card has been given to number 9, Da Silva. So Da Silva will sit out the next game if, of course, Uruguay go through, because he's already had 1 yellow and that's his second. So chaos, darkness, rainstorms, and pressure for Argentina here in Puebla.
I think what Uruguay was complaining about there was they were taking so long to change. And most of the games that we've done, the referee has not added on much time. And I think that they were trying to use it as time-wasting tactics.
Now we're beginning to see spread eagle players absolutely soaked to the skin on a treacherously slippy surface. Cuauhtémoc Stadium in Puebla. Kick to Burruchaga for Argentina, takes a short one. Gets it again on the right, chance for a cross. Wasted, not able to get a good hold on that ball to swing it across and pull it back. And now in their urgency, Gutierrez of Uruguay leaping the barriers to get that ball quickly to avoid wasting of time. And by our watch, ignoring for a moment how much time the referee will add for injuries and stoppages, we say that we have 3 minutes only left, but I'm sure there are more. Uruguay now urged on with the extra energy of desperation, trying to bring themselves on equal terms and push this game into extra time. The footing very treacherous indeed now. That ball into touch off the leg of Garre, number 13 for Argentina. So it's a Uruguayan throw. The rain a little less intense now, the wind still blustery. So despite this last 15 minutes when they certainly have had their backs against the wall, and there's a chance there! A superb save by Nery Pompidou of Argentina. He gets a blow in the face from a very frustrated Francescoli, and these Uruguayans had better be very careful about arguing with this referee. But there was, without question, the save of the game by Nery Pompidou. Saved undoubtedly this game going into extra time, and clusters of players around this referee and the linesman in too. And the referee must exert his authority.
It's a very difficult situation there. Francescoli coming in, especially with these conditions, tried to slide in as the ball broke loose after the shot. Tremendous save by Pompidou. He gets back up and very courageously dives at the feet. Defender coming in, Francescoli, and you can see Francescoli's foot caught him.
But Francescoli, it must be said in fairness, absolutely off balance and falling when his foot hit Pompidou's face.
Full credit to Pompidou. That's the one hazard of playing goalkeeper, of course, is you have to dive at people's feet. Made a good first save. Good reactions, got up and covered up on the second one as well.
But with the minutes fading away, if Argentina are to retain this one-goal lead and go on to meet the winners of the England-Paraguay game, then they can look back on this game and on that particular save, as well as the 2 goals that they missed, and say, that was the difference. So now Pompidou on his knees and recovering. And the referee will have to add time on for this delay. So although we make it that we're in the last minute of play, we're also equally convinced that there is more time to come. And that was a great and a brave save. So the kick is given to Argentina. Pompidou takes it, gets it back, and will, with some thanks, send this ball well downfield. Now Uruguay must thrust their entire forces forward, not knowing exactly how much time the Italian referee will add on for these stoppages, but surely appreciating that they are in desperate straits. That ball into touch off an Argentinian head, Uruguayan throw. And the rain continues to saturate the pitch and to soak the players. And Argentina very happy to dispense with the elaborate play and simply boot this ball well downfield to get it into the Uruguayan end as opposed to theirs. Alves equally eager to get it up. So a kick to Uruguay. All is not yet lost. We have it over 45 minutes gone. But we don't know whether we're talking minutes or seconds. Francescoli is up forward, waiting for this Argentinian kick. Small one, short one. Mexican defenders sorry, Argentinian defenders in numbers, and there's a chance of a break for Argentina. Pasculi's through, but the goalkeeper times his slide, threatens to step on Pasculi, so angry is he. Pasculi got up and punched the goalkeeper in the face as the Uruguayan teammates brought this goal out. We've got everything in this game. High drama, rainstorms, Argentina leading 1-0, the time elapsing. The referee missed that one, but Uruguay continue to attack. Argentinian possession. Coming out in a little more organization now. Maradona down the left side, and he's fouled, and that will be a kick to Argentina. Fouled by Bossio.
It'll be very interesting to watch the referee at the end of this game as we see the foul by Barrios here, which I think is just frustration. He couldn't get at the ball, so he just took Maradona's leg straight out from underneath it. But this is the point in time when this game's coming to an end that we have to watch.
That is it, Sam. 2 minutes over the 45 minutes, and Argentina go through to meet the winner of England and Paraguay. A game of sharp contrast. Argentina having the better of the first half, better team all round. An excellent goal by Pedro Pasculi, and then in the last 20 minutes or so, the elements took over and changed conditions totally. Uruguay began to believe that they could win and press very hard, but Argentina won the day. Argentina won, Uruguay 0, and the Labatt. We see the artistry of the groundskeeper who has mown this pitch in circles, and very attractive it looks. Argentina in the blue shirts and the dark shorts, and Uruguay in all white. And Sam, I think you have a little bit of information on changes.
Yes, in Uruguay changes. Of course, the coach will not be on the bench. He will be in the stands. He was ejected from the Scotland game after harassing the officials there. Batista, who was ejected at 53 seconds versus Scotland, will not be playing. And Diego, who had accumulated 2 yellow cards, will not be playing either. But they do have Bossio back in the lineup, who was suspended before. And in Argentina's case, they have made one change. They brought Pascali in for Borghi. Other than that, the Argentina team has stayed the same with their stars, Maradona, and the 3-goal scorer, Valdano.
So a very, very important task indeed for today's referee, Luigi Agnoline from Italy. 43 years of age, speaks Italian, German, English, and French. He is a swimming instructor, so we hope he doesn't get out of his depth in this game today. He also claims to be the player's friend. What does this mean to you?
Well, when I was playing, whenever the referee said he was your friend, that's when you really had to watch out for him.
Well, let's hope he keeps control of this very, very important match. Diego breaking, but the ball going into touch, and Uruguay under threat of suspension from the World Cup by FIFA if they continue this degrading sort of behavior. And as Sam has already indicated, without their manager on the bench today, Barrios, for previous bad behavior when they played Scotland. So now, Burruchaga of Argentina bringing the ball forward. This stadium half in shadow and will increase in shadow as the afternoon wears on. Maradona on the edge of the area, beats 2 men, beats 3 men, just takes it too far forward, showing his talent and his distinct threat.
Well, we have here Maradona, of course, with the acceleration that he has, and I mean, he's just a tremendous world-class player. But it's interesting that in both teams, the number 10 seems to be the star players in both teams.
Maradona for Argentina and Francescoli for Uruguay. It's interesting to note that the Uruguayan defender Acevedo, who's played very well in this World Cup so far, has said that the Argentinians have tried to work on them psychologically, but we will know what we must do on the field. He also said our defense is firm and we only have to be careful of Maradona and Valdano. I think the Argentinians have more than a 2-man threat, but certainly Maradona and Valdano are very, very distinct threats. So very, very early days in this game, and a throw-in. No, a free kick is given. by this very important gentleman this afternoon, Luigi Agnolin, the Italian referee. He's assisted on the line by George Courtney of England and Carlos Valente of Portugal. So Uruguay pressing forward. Cabrera it is, breaks clear, but tackled there and loses possession to Argentina. Argentina in their dark blue jerseys as opposed to their familiar lighter blue and white vertical stripes. And this beautifully manicured field, which should encourage the players to play well and to stroke this ball about because they have the skill to do it. And this game can either be a soccer travesty or soccer magic. If they can control and discipline themselves and play the game as it's meant to be played, we're in for a treat. But if Uruguay resort to their thuggery, then it may turn into a disgrace for this great game of football. We shall see. It's early days yet, and we see nothing at all threatening. Maradona swerving and turning beautifully, making space down the left touchline. Pascual is in the center. Maradona just hooks it across before it goes over the goal line, and the referee awards a corner.
And you can see that Barrios here is following Maradona, and it looks like he's been given the job of marking Maradona and following him on the field. And I think he's found himself a pretty tough job there as Maradona outpaced him a bit to get the cross in.
So team versus team and individual versus individual as the different marking tasks are assigned and conducted. Here comes the cross. White-clad head gets to that, and Uruguay clear. Nice touch back. Uruguay coming out in numbers now. Past their penalty area for that corner. Ramos hits that ball far too hard, and it ricochets off one of his own players, and Burruchaga it is for Argentina. Now beginning to spread this ball about a bit to try to stretch the Uruguayan defense. Valdano, goal scorer for Argentina. Pascual to Maradona, tries the left side. Garre has it, and room. Three in the center for... Looks for support, sees it, oh, and Valdano uncharacteristically with the goal at his mercy. Heads it wide to the right side. Maradona, beautiful layup.
Lovely cross across, and I think that Valdano may have had his eyes on the goalkeeper, maybe thinking the goalkeeper was going to come out and try and block it, and he took his eye off the ball just for a second, or else that should have been a sure goal.
So uncharacteristic of this man, Valdano. And what a golden opportunity missed there. Maradona setting it up beautifully, looking and seeing Valdano coming in, tipping the ball across beautifully, and with the goal at his mercy, he tragically heads wide to the right side post. But now a chance for Uruguay to counter. Beats his man nicely. He's got support. But so also has the Argentinian defense come back to clear. Nice 1-2. Burruchaga, Valdano. Valdano trying to make amends for that miss just seconds ago, but giving away to Uruguay. And the counter-attack is on with a long ball to the left. Ramos out on the left wing receives that long ball from Francescoli. The Prince, as he's known, Francescoli, hasn't behaved like a prince so far, but now's his chance to show his talent. Francescoli and Cabrera in the middle. Ramos trying to beat one man too many, but he gets his cross in, but only into the hands of the Argentinian goalkeeper. And Pumpido easily able to handle that, and now Argentina counter-attacking, and we're seeing the end-to-end game which we'd all hoped for so much, showing that they have the skills to play this game beautifully.
I think that the FIFA warning has certainly had an effect on the Uruguayan players, because in the other games that we saw them play, they're nowhere near tackling as hard at this point in time.
And very, very clear also, Sam, that Luigi Agnolin from Italy is going to stamp out any chance at all of any play that we have come to deplore from these Uruguayans in their earlier games. So the referee making it very, very clear indeed. He'll stand no nonsense at all, but what he does want is top-class football, and this is what we've had so far in this first half. So the kick to Argentina, Maradona to take it, Burruchaga on hand, a bit of deception which will unlikely to fool the Uruguayans. Argentinians in the area, Maradona, a high chip, but too far, too strong. Didn't float as he'd hoped. And acknowledges the fact that Argentina, it's a high, gentle lob. And Uruguay have no hesitation in banging that over the goal line for a corner. So Argentina putting Uruguay under early pressure. Maradona, as usual, takes most of their free kicks, will also take this corner. Penalty area packed with the white of Uruguay, but now some blue-clad, and well caught indeed by Alves in the Uruguayan goal. Venancio Ramos pushing it into the center, but finding an Argentinian. Ruggeri. Burruchaga. Christie. Nice play by Maradona, keeping that ball in. He looks as if he's on song today. Burruchaga ahead of him there, but he misdirects that pass. And so the Argentinian goalkeeper, the Uruguayan goalkeeper, sorry, Alves, rolling it out.
Jeff, I think we're seeing an interesting, usually we've seen the Europeans versus the South American style, and here, of course, we have two South American neighbors, and they're playing these. This is a long ball here, but normally the short, slow build-up, and I think we'll see a lot of that today. And the grass looks a little bit long and is holding the ball up, too, so I think we'll see a slow build-up game. But once they get near that penalty area, looking for those quick 1-2s.
Batista to Burruchaga. Burruchaga to Maradona. Chips it back to Burruchaga. Valdano's gone forward. Pasciuli searches for the left, and Gary is on hand on the left. Likes this left side. Into the penalty area. Burruchaga tries to get in that cross, but it's blocked. And so Uruguay will be very, very pleased to push that ball into touch and save that pressure. Argentina on top in these early minutes of this first half of this all-important second round game. So Argentina, it is with the kick to be taken by the captain, Maradona. Valdano's up in the penalty area. Batista's moving up from his defensive position, and the Uruguayans are not 10 yards back. Burruchaga. No, Maradona. Bending it beautifully. Curling away from the goalkeeper, but Alves did well to come to it. And the whistle goes for offside against Burruchaga, and therefore a kick to Uruguay.
Interestingly enough, again, we talk about Barrios marking Maradona. Barrios happens to be the captain of the Uruguayan team, and Maradona captain of his team, Argentina, so it's a clash of captains as well.
Chance for Burruchaga. Knocks the ball out to the right. In the sunny part of the field, a long shot. Alves just knocking it down, bring it out to the edge of the area and push it to the right side. Bossio. Beautiful green contrasting with the white-clad Uruguayans and the rich dark blue of Argentina. But the Uruguayan ball through, going astray. Batista putting it inside to Justi. Burruchaga trying to find Maradona on the run. That might have been very dangerous, but not quite accurate enough. And Uruguay now, Venancio Ramos. Cabrera's in the middle, but good Argentinian tackling. Christie. To Batista. To Valdano. Chipping it to the left. Burruchaga. Pasciuli, number 17. An overlap here for support. Gives it into the middle. Valdano playing with it, stroking it across just outside the center circle. Justi probing. And the Uruguayan defender hooking it out to save the corner. He was pushed there as he went over that goal line. And we see here one of the dangers of having this cluster of cameramen so close to the goal line, not only with their hard cameras and very long lenses, but also with all the contraptions that they bring with them and these very solid boxes. And it's into these boxes that he fell. And I think FIFA might have been wiser to have moved that line back 2 or 3 meters, because after all, the game's the thing.
Very much so, and it's very dangerous for the players. We know the photographers want to get their pictures, but It doesn't take much, as you can see here. He tries to clear the ball, and just he gets a little push, and he's right in the middle of the photographers. And as lovely as those cameras are, I think they're very hard to land on.
So he's on his feet again. Gutierrez, Nelson Gutierrez, who plays for Boca Juniors. He might have a sore head after that, but fortunately, he's on his feet and able to resume play. And he puts it back to his goalkeeper, Alves. Alves in a delightful goalkeeper's jersey. The envy of the better dressers in Mexico, no doubt. Now here's a chance for Maradona. Gets his head to it.